Guys. Okay, seriously, don't joke around. Bring me up. Let's go. Guys!
Scott Lang is trapped in the quantum realm. The only people who can get him out have turned to dust. He's stuck, completely alone, trapped in a place beyond time as the universe tears itself apart. 5 years later, he is free, utterly unaware of what has happened. Earth is quiet, neighborhoods are abandoned, and a giant memorial is set up in San Francisco. For him, it was an afternoon, but for everyone else, it was much longer. There's no sign of Hope, Hank, or Janet. Scott rushes to his old home to find the one person he hopes he still has left.
Cassie.
But she's not how he remembers her. Cassie Lang, Scott's daughter and the light of his life, is older. She grew up thinking her father was dead. He missed her teenage years. He missed her growing up. What he sees staring back at him is not the little girl he built cardboard forts with and went on wacky father-daughter adventures with. His daughter grew up, and he wasn't there. Scott Lang may have saved the universe, but he lost the most important thing of all.
Who are you? I'm the man who can give you the one thing you want. What's that? Time.
AntMan Has To Die in Quantumania. The trailer, above all else, proved this point to me. The trailer confirmed the rumors that Scott Lang will make a deal with Kang the Conqueror, and he will retrieve something that the Master of Time desperately needs in exchange for getting the one thing he didn't get with Cassie: time. Peyton Reed confirmed that Cassie Lang will be celebrating her 18th birthday in this movie. When Scott got trapped in the quantum realm, Cassie was 10 or 11 years old, depending on when her birthday is. So if we fast forward 5 years, he came back when she was 16 years old. Cassie meant the world to Scott, and Scott meant the world to Cassie. Throughout everything Scott went through a divorce, through prison, through superheroing and being arrested for siding with Captain America, the one person who never turned his back on Scott was his daughter. Everything he did for Cassie. They were each other's heroes. And in comes a man who can give Scott what he wants. And it's not a lie. He genuinely can give Scott the years he missed with his daughter. So AntMan makes a reckless decision, one that is understandable and justifiable with the characters and the story, but one that will spell certain doom as a new dynasty begins. I'm not alone in the mindset that Scott Lang is unqualified to fight Kang the Conqueror. Just look at him. He's not playing around. The Ant Crew, as I'm calling them, are way out of their league in this movie. Kang has killed so many Avengers that he can't even remember if he has killed Ant-Man. I know people will be after me for saying Ant-Man is one of the weaker Avengers. Sure, he basically invented time travel, and sure, he can shrink or grow whenever he wants, but he has one weakness that no other Avenger has.
You thought you could win.
Ant-Man isn't armed to the teeth like Iron Man. He doesn't have enhanced senses like Spider-Man or Daredevil, and he can't fight like Captain America or Black Panther. Take away his helmet and Scott Lang is just a normal guy, which isn't enough when you're fighting a man who has already learned how to defeat the likes of Thor, Doctor Strange, and Wanda Maximoff. And let's be real, Scott Lang not even surviving his own solo movie tells the audience that Kang isn't playing around. But more important is the lesson that Scott Lang has to learn. This trailer made it pretty clear that there is a double cross in this movie. Scott pulls off the most dangerous heist of all time to get time with his daughter, but after returning to Kang, learns that this heist was high risk with no reward. Kang could care less about Ant-Man. He could care less about Cassie, and he could care less about the deal he made. All he wants is the multiverse. Unlocked because of Sylvie, harnessed because of Ant-Man. And now, purely because of Scott's selfish decision, Kang is all-powerful. The universe needs the Avengers again. But there's no time for that. Scott Lang is the only Avenger they have. The theme of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, at least to me, seems to be about cherishing the time you have and not taking it for granted. This is something Scott tried to do. He tried to buy more time for him and his daughter, and the lesson he must learn is that that's not possible. He had the rest of his life to spend time with Cassie, but he instead traded it all for years he will never get to live. And as the trailer implies, Scott Lang doesn't have to win. He and Kang both just have to lose. Scott has to hold Kang off just long enough that he can't unleash havoc upon the universe and everything we all know and love. He just has to delay him. Delay him long enough that everyone else can be safe. Whether this particular variant is killed or just trapped in time, Scott has to make that sacrifice and know that while he may not come home, everyone else one day will. Because while Scott may not get what he wanted, he can certainly give time to Cassie. Time to live, time to love, and time to be the hero she always looked up to in her father.
You're her hero, Scott. Just be the person that she already thinks you are.